Yes.
There we are.
All right, we are. Yeah, we're rocking.
How's it
All
going,
right,
man?
It's all right. So, welcome to the Broke Men's Podcast. We just did about 30 minutes of recording, and I did not turn on my mic. Great
Stuff happens.
rookie.
Stuff
Just
happens.
it happens.
Oops.
All right, welcome to the Broke Men's Podcast.
How's it
Let's
going?
get it kicked off, man. A little bit of gratitude this morning. We're going to start off with. I am thankful for the vision. I'm grateful for the vision. I'm grateful that I keep that kid inside of me to keep that imagination flowing and keep that creativity flowing. I'm thankful for all the arts of the world and the arts that I do practice to keep my creativity. I am grateful for friends like you that keeps me going. And we get fired up every time. We get fired up at 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning when we're at the gym and we're hitting it. We leave fired up. We get there fired up. And it's one of those things that doesn't stop.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't stop.
Right on, man. Very grateful for support.
Yes.
For some support that I've been getting along the way. Pretty new on the journey yet. Pretty fresh on the journey. I was starting the fitness business. But even just support for doing these podcasts. Support from friends, family, people saying, yep, you got it, man, go for it. Just feels great.
It does feel good. And when it comes to support also, I like being around a lot of you guys too because we have some great tools. We have the tool of failing. And we know that when we have failure, we just keep going. The tool of moving forward.
You have to.
Like no matter what it is, we move forward. And I do like that about every single one of us. The good days, the bad days, we know that every single one of those times are going to pass. No matter what happens, that time of that sadness and depression, it's going to pass. It too shall pass. And we all continue to work on ourselves. We continue to grow. Mm-hmm. We do. And we push each other for that. We do. So we can have healthy relationships, so we can have healthy lives.
Right.
And we move forward. We do. We do. We have a great strength of moving forward, and we do it together. And when we do it together, it makes it even easier to do it by yourself because you know who you have in your corner. You do. And I'm thankful for you with that, man. It's always, let's go get it. Let's go do it. Always.
Let's get it.
That mindset
Let's
of
get
yours,
it.
man.
Yeah, buddy.
Meeting you with that moving forward mentality. Let's get it. What are you doing this morning? Okay, let's get after it. Let's do it. And it's literally not one of those things you hear about on like speeches and whatnot, but you live it. You do. You live it. 3 a.m. every morning?
3:15.
3:15?
Yeah, maybe 3:30 if I'm sleeping in.
All right.
Right.
Oh, man, I just said 3:30. But you have that mentality, and you truly do, and you keep it.
Yeah, because that goal is right there. It's right in front of me. It's so close I can smell it. That living that dream is right there. So, I mean, I wake up just ready to crush it. You know, fake, and if not, fake it till you make it. And then 5 minutes later, I'm jacked up talking to my girlfriend at 4 a.m. She goes, Cooper, shut the fuck up. I just woke up. You know, like I'm trying to sleep, and I'm like, let's go to the gym.
It's leg day. Oh,
right,
man.
Right.
That's pretty cool, man. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's support. That's support.
Support, it's awesome. That's what, that's why I'm so grateful for it. Just support from a lot of different people, from a lot of different areas that it just means a lot, whether they think so or not. People that I wouldn't even imagine, wouldn't even believe that would say, hey, give me a like or give me a follow. And they do, and it's, fantastic. I love it.
It's support, and I'm thankful for the ones that do. I am. I'm truly thankful for the ones that do. And support goes a long way. True support.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize every single little person, if we put our minds together and we do things together, you go so far. We can go so far from just actually truly supporting.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one person. If you know one person's got your back, believes in you, that pumps you up. That gets you going.
It does.
So if you got one person that you're relying on for that, well, you got a pretty good shot that they're not going to feel like that. If you got 50 people that are like, got you, go for it, what's the chance of at least one of them having your back in any given situation?
Absolutely.
Any given, adventure or any new start to a journey. So it's pretty cool.
I like that. I like support, and I like the fact that we can speak up and speak about that and speak about those things. And that's what we're going to touch on today is speaking up. Speaking up. And I'm interested to hear your your perspective. Sorry, your perspective on when speaking up and when it comes to it.
Sure. Speaking up is so important. How I think people aren't mind readers. People are not mind readers, and damn near everything you do, you need to talk to somebody else in one way, shape, form, or another. You know, if it's at a job interview, if it's a question during class.
That's a good one.
I mean, it could be, do you want the last piece of cake?
Oh,
If you don't there's so many different things for speaking up. And even for maybe sometimes you have to speak very loudly. So you literally have to speak up. You need to be able to project your voice. You need to learn how to speak. You also need to learn how to talk softly, how to inflect your tone. The art of speaking is being lost with all the technology, texting. I mean,
yes.
people are Shakespeare on the internet or on emails, but it comes to right? But face to face,
you're right. You're
they're
right.
awkward. They're shy. They won't look at you. They keep fidgeting. They speak meekly. They they can't think and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to slow your voice down to think about things. Sometimes you got to be a move ahead, think ahead, and that's just some stuff that people I think gets lost, and because you can do so much with a face-to-face conversation. When you're talking to a person, you look them in the eye and you're projecting confidence, and that you look at each other and you just know.
Yes.
You just know. You can tell so much by looking a person in the eyes. You feel so much closer, so much more connected. Like you are actually talking to them. And I think that's a huge thing too. Having that confidence, building that confidence to be able to do that. I don't care what this person thinks about me in the nicest way, because I'm me and I'm just going to talk to them and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and however they take it, that's what it is. And that is so like, damn, look at that person.
Absolutely.
You just know when that person has it, when they have a strong voice, a strong eye connection. You know that person is probably near the top of whatever life category they are in. They're probably doing okay.
Absolutely.
Because they're confident and they're proud and they want to be themselves. You know that person's getting it.
Absolutely. What does speaking up do for you in a relationship? What can it do for people in a relationship?
It can do so many things, I think. It can save. It does. It saves relationships. I mean, something as simple as taking out the trash. Okay, one person's supposed to take out the trash, and they didn't. And the other one sees it, and they're mad. Like, do you say something or not? Well, that tiny little taking out the trash, if you hold on to that, you end up resenting that person without them even knowing why. If you're trying to say, oh, I'm going to hold that in, it's just taking out the trash. I'm not going to say it. They didn't do it on purpose. Not going to say anything. Well, they don't know, because if you say, I'm just going to internalize, I'm not going to show the other person that I'm upset, they're not going to know that you're upset. If you're trying not to look upset, they're not going to know. So they're going to have no idea that you have an issue with something as small as forgetting to take out the trash or putting their shoes by the door when there's a shoe rack right there. Something that small, well, you hold on to that for long enough and you get good enough at holding that in, you end up resenting them. You end up not taking them on dates. The relationship can suffer, and this person thinks, wow, are they falling out of love with me? All over not taking out the trash, because they have no idea why you're not being your happy, lovey self with them. You're not doing things for them like you would have because they didn't take out the trash again, or they keep kicking their damn shoes by the door.
You build things in a fog.
Say something. Yes, you have to, because
you
you're
build
so
something
afraid.
in a fog. Yeah,
it's not even real.
And when you build something in a fog, sorry to interrupt. When you build something in a fog from holding resentment and not speaking up, that little thing that's bothering you turns into a huge monster with about 30 tentacles.
Oh yeah, at least.
Yeah, with about 30 tentacles, and not knowing when to speak. They didn't take out the garbage. Timing. This is the first time they've done that in their consistency of 6 months. And the one time, if you see it happen again, or for a third time, they say, okay. So that's when you decide on when to let the little things go. Is it a little thing that just happened once, or is it a little thing that's reoccurring?
Right, yeah.
So now when do I speak up, and how do I bring it? Do I bring it out of love? You have to bring it out. You have to bring it to them love. It's just something that's bothering you. You want to let them know. And you don't want to cause a huge reaction that's not needed. Right. So you want to prep for the conversation. You want to write it down. Make sure it's something that's actually bothering you and not something rooted from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's huge. Writing it down. I mean, like you said, you have to say it out of love. You don't want to convey this or project it in the wrong way. So writing it down, you can prepare exactly for what you're going to say. Think about it ahead of time, planning for it. I think there's, that applies to a lot of different situations. If you think about it a little bit beforehand, build a game plan, you're going to be so much better off. Why are you going to go into a situation blind and just hope for the best? Well, I'm good enough. I don't need to prepare for it. Yeah, okay. Well, wait. What if a left hook comes when you weren't expecting it? Something's always going to come up, so you better be prepared for, think about the possibilities. Think about how you want to say something.
Hey, I apologize for texting. No. I had a meeting at 11, and the fact that I ran the podcast 30 minutes with no recording, I'm going to be late, so I have to let that person know I'm going to be late. So
of course.
I apologize for that. I'm getting right back to it.
Oh, good.
Just speaking up.
Yeah.
Speaking up and communicating. Absolutely. But not speaking up can actually do something sexually, too. If you don't speak up in the bedroom, if you don't speak up and know your needs and your wants, and actually tell that person, you're going to mess up a lot of things. A lot of marriages and relationships are going to fall apart.
A lot do, unfortunately. A lot do because of sexual issues, sexual tension, or not tension, that's a good thing. Issues in the bedroom, intimacy issues.
Yeah.
If you love the other person, I just want to keep things on an even keel, it's going to be good. Sex is good. Sex is good when it's really not.
A lot of people get that confused, that not speaking about sex. So if you're in a relationship, speak about sex. Speak about your needs and your wants and your likes and your appetite. Speak about those things early so it doesn't come up later. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's way harder when it becomes a bigger issue.
When it becomes a bigger issue, or you're a year or two inside the relationship, speak about it early. Bring your sexual appetite to the forefront. Bring it early. Talk about it.
Got to. If you're supposed to love that person, be with them for the rest of your life.
Tell them your needs and your wants, the things that you like.
That's that person.
Yes.
You better be on the same page with that because that's a huge part of it. I know it's not with everyone, but we're damn near everyone.
I think it's everybody. I think it's everyone. We just hide it because it's part of. We're animals. It's part of us.
Yeah,
it's a huge part of us. It's how we reproduce. It's how we keep this world afloat and going.
Well, right. Yeah, it's actually you have to. Right.
Communication and sex is a huge part. Communication is a huge part, and communication is the foundation of all of it.
Yeah,
you have to communicate.
That other person loves you and that they are going to be okay with it.
Yes,
that's what it is. You just gotta trust that. Hey, if they really love me, this won't be an issue. Maybe won't check all the boxes.
Yeah,
but you got to talk. You got to talk to them. That's the only way. Nobody is a mind reader.
They're not.
I think everything comes down to nobody's a mind reader. So how in the heck are they going to know what your likes and dislikes are?
If you don't communicate it, teach people how to love you. Communicate it. Talk about it. Speak about it. And when you speak about it, check yourself. Check your emotions. Mm-hmm. Check your emotions.
Oh, yeah.
Check like you said, your tone. Realize how you're speaking. If you're in a tone that's going to make that person elevate, or that person is going to just go out everywhere. Mm.
Yeah.
So prepare your message. Prepare yourself for it so that you know you're going inside that conversation healthy. Mm-hmm. And it's not going in different directions and you're confident about what you're doing.
Right.
You got to be.
You got to prepare for it.
Yeah, you got to prepare for it so you can get down to what's actually going on.
Right.
And how to properly deliver this message instead of... I've been in a relationship when I got there and not preparing for it and it just goes left. And it goes everywhere and I hit different angles. I'm like, wait, I was just talking about cereal. How did I end up and I don't want to be with you anymore?
Right. Yeah.
Not saying that's what happened, but great example. Great example.
Yeah.
Why are people, men and women, why are they scared to speak up in their relationships, you think?
Because they don't. I think they don't want to rock the boat. I think things are good, or they think maybe that this isn't a valid reason to speak up. Yeah. It's not big enough to where it warrants having a conversation and most likely a fight.
Yeah,
I think that's a big one too. I don't want to bring it up because it's going to cause a fight. You got to get better at communicating to where that you can say stuff without it causing a huge argument.
Yes,
because I've had that before. Where I don't want to say anything; it's just going to cause an argument.
Yep,
it's going to now or later.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be an argument. It can be a conversation. So that's that. Check your tone.
Yeah,
because if you go into it right away blowing up, well, you're damn right it's going to cause an argument. That person's going to get defensive. Or if they get defensive right away, then you know that something else is at play here. But you should be able to just talk. It's tough. The emotions get high, but you got to be able to write it down first.
You're going to be living with this person forever, man or woman. You got to speak up.
You got to figure it out. You got to speak up.
You got to speak up. Else you're going to be emotionally unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you're going to cause tension within yourself and within your body.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to be down, sad, depressed. And then one day, hopefully it doesn't happen, you'll explode on your kids, your wife, your husband.
Yeah.
And it all's going to start from somewhere. And next thing you know, we're getting a divorce or we're breaking up.
Yeah.
Over what exactly? Over the things that were not said or the things that were not communicated properly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, little things can turn into big things.
Yeah, because you don't know how to convey your message. You don't know how to convey your message properly.
Right. Yeah, and just saying anything in general. Just speaking up. Just saying something. You have to.
You have to.
Like it comes back to, again, nobody's a mind reader. I've held stuff in, and you become resentful and spiteful, and you're not being your best self. Everything in your life suffers, from not speaking up, because that's always on your mind.
Yeah.
The bad relationship that you have.
Exactly.
Because you're holding something in, and then you're going back. Should I say something? Should I not say something? You just have to say it.
Yeah, don't be that person that doesn't speak up to somebody. You expect somebody to just know what you want and know what you like.
Right. Nobody does. Nobody's going to.
No.
Things at work, in a relationship, in the bedroom, nobody is going to know what you want, who you are, how you're feeling.
Oh, you got to speak up.
And it's so important. It's so important because life's all about relationships.
Yes.
And how you are with this person. So how are they going to think about you? How are you coming across?
Absolutely. Speaking up, communicating. Yeah. I take communicating and speaking up all the way down to when I have to get something for somebody's birthday. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just guess and I'm going to give you the wrong thing. So I ask.
No, every time.
I ask. I ask, would you like anything for your birthday? Do you truly want something? If you do, speak up.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, speak up. And that's why I speak up and I ask. I don't like just getting people things. I don't do that.
Right.
If my friends have kids, I'm not just going to get them something. I ask, hey, what does your kid need? Would you like me to get a toy or something educational?
Yeah.
How would you like me to do it? Speak up.
Oh, yeah.
Speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking up goes a long way. What are some of the fears around it? Some big fears around it as a person in general.
I think just as a person in general, we look for validation from other people. You want to be accepted. You want to be liked, all that kind of stuff. So speaking up makes that risky.
Yeah.
Speaking up is putting yourself out there for judgment. Speaking up is kind of raising your hand in the class when you're the only kid. And it's like, damn, I better get this right. Otherwise I'm going to look like a fool. Well, that's it. You got to go for it. Otherwise,
that classroom.
Yeah.
We all have questions, but nobody's raising their hand. We're all just looking around and we are all lost.
Yep, that's it. So you be that person that raises their hand and asks a question. Go out on a limb. Take that risk. Take that risk because 9 times out of 10 it pays off. 9 times out of 10 it pays off for the person that goes out and gets it. Not only is that raising your hand, but that's going for that raise, that promotion.
Speak up at work.
Asking out that hot girl or hot guy. Take a chance. Send them that message. Do something. Buy them flowers. Have flowers sent there. I mean, take that chance. Start that business. Be that person. Be that kid that raises their hand.
Yeah. Speak
and
up.
Ask the question. Yeah.
Advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Speak up and advocate for yourself.
Because nobody else is going to.
Yeah. Start building that self-autonomy.
People are for themselves. A lot of people are for themselves. So the people that rely on you or the people that push you up, I should say, the people that are there for you, it's at least you better be there for yourself.
When you do not speak up in general and in a relationship, you start feeling real down.
Lost, forgotten.
You start feeling forgotten, unheard.
Yeah.
It can go a long way. It is so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you start making up horrible stories in your head. Oh, that person doesn't like me. Oh, they think this. Oh, they think that. And you really, instead of being a partner to somebody, you start being an enemy. You start being an enemy because you're not speaking up.
Drives you apart. It happens. It drives you apart because nobody knows what the issue is. Nobody's talking about it. You just know that the issue's getting worse.
Yep. That's a good one. Yeah.
Right? You don't
even know what the issue is.
On. Why is this nothing happening? It's because you haven't asked the other person. Nobody knows what's wrong. I don't know. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing.
I'm
just
fine.
down today. I'm fine.
I'm fine. We men do that.
Oh yeah. It's easy.
Man.
I'm fine.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah. Tell them to put their damn shoes in the rack and stop leaving them by the door.
How you feeling? I'm fine.
Yeah.
How's everything going? I'm fine.
Yeah.
That number one saying, one of those number ones, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's big with us, man. Shit.
Well, yeah, you got to be okay. If you can't talk to your girlfriend, your wife, who can you talk to? That's supposed to be the one person that knows your deepest, darkest secrets and is your other half is supposed to be. Sleep in the same bed every night. You better be able to talk to that person.
Hey, you want to cuddle in a good way.
Well,
You don't want to sleep on separate sides of the bed in resentment the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
And all that from not speaking up. One thing leads to another. From not speaking up. And you just start getting agitated by that person. You start resenting that person. You guys aren't even dating anymore. They're just enemies in the same.
Right, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Sometimes it turns out like that. And it sucks because that it was there at one point. It was there at one point. And I think all it takes is just starting conversation, starting to talk.
Leave the texting out.
There's one thing I learned, even just at the end of the night. 2 good things and 1 bad thing from each person at the end of the day. Happies and crappies.
I
Right?
like that. Happies and crappies?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's to start talking, to start feeling about, talking about emotions. Hey, if this happened at work, and you're not just venting about Brenda not emptying the recycling bin or something like that. Get into some deeper stuff. So you start to be okay with talking about emotions with that person.
Yes.
I think that's a big thing too. I don't know. I don't like showing emotions. Never liked to, all that kind of stuff. So to bring it up in an intimate setting, even.
Yeah, how is it now?
It's good. I mean,
What changed?
and because the emotions are good, it's easier to talk about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like chicken and which came first sort of thing. I think realizing that it's necessary, 100% necessary. You have to do it. So learn to be okay with it. That was for me, because I've unfortunately ruined relationships because of not talking. And I thought that doing the same thing over and over, what's going to change? Nothing. And I don't know what I was expecting. So I figured it was time to finally just to talk a little bit or a lot.
Expressing yourself?
Yeah, 100%. In relationship and just in life.
Yeah.
Just in life. You have to express yourself, be yourself, talk, speak up. I mean, there's so many different aspects where that is true. You just have to be yourself, talk, just be a boss.
Yes.
Look people in the eye when you talk to them, stand up straight, communicate strong and proud.
Yeah, you find your voice.
Right.
Speaking up, you find your voice.
Yeah.
And you're able to communicate. You're able to be assertive when it comes to communicating. Speaking up and finding your voice. You get to express yourself, your emotions, and know where you're at as a person.
So much. And it, like I said, it's just becoming a lost art.
Yeah.
Because of technology. It's great, but it sucks in that aspect that face-to-face communication just isn't there anymore with a lot of people, a lot of young people I see. Just aren't aware of how to do it effectively, how to communicate effectively, and put out what they actually mean and convey the message in the right way.
Absolutely. A lost art. Speaking of lost art, journaling. Grabbing a piece of paper, grabbing that notebook, your notebook, the paper, the papaya, and grabbing a pen and holding that pen and putting it down on that piece of paper and describing your thoughts through that way.
There's something different
There's
about
something
it.
different about it than being on a blue light phone.
Yeah. Old school, how far back does writing go?
All the way.
Right.
All the way.
So, there's something different about it's getting that message out of you onto the paper.
I challenge the listeners out there to do that.
Try it. At least a little bit. Try it.
Try it.
Give it a shot.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy because, how long ago was it that you wrote a story, a fiction story for 2nd grade? You were there. When you were writing that down, you remember as a kid, you were there. You were in the story.
Absolutely.
You could think about it that much more clear. And now writing that stuff down, just journaling, day-to-day stuff, prepping for a conversation with anyone maybe, or what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
It puts you in such a better headspace.
It does.
I think about the situation. You become more at peace with it. Okay, this is coming, this is happening, and writing it down is just making, your plan to it, whatever, that's making it like, okay, you're prepared, like we were talking about.
How has speaking up? I'm going back to speaking up. How has speaking up and expressing yourself and your emotions and how you're feeling and deep thinking? How has that been beneficial to your relationship?
Oh, there's none of that. I mean, not none of that, but it's fantastic to know what the other person is thinking or how we're feeling. It's so good. We're so much closer. Just when you can talk to that person and talk about how you feel during that day and they actually understand and they listen to you, I think that's one of the parts of communication too, is listening. Being a good communicator, being a good speaker, all that also comes with it. So when they hear you for what you're actually saying, you're making eye contact and they know your emotions when you're talking about that. They can empathize so much more with you when they have 100% of what you are getting, what you are going through. So learning how to do that, I think could save so many relationships. I mean, hopefully there's something more than just a superficial attraction to that person. You should be able to look them in the eyes and care about them and feel what they're feeling. You should want to help them. You should be able to take that in and understand what they're going through. And I think learning to do that, having that with that person, with that other person, it makes you, it sounds corny, but almost one. Like, you guys are a team then. Like, you're down for each other then when you can look at each other and say, yep, I feel this way. And they say, yep, I totally get it. I get you. I understand. You communicate effectively.
Absolutely. Cooper, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We are going to have a part 2 to this pretty soon.
Right on.
Yeah, so I thank you for that, man.
Of course.
Happy
to be here. Thanks for having me.
You here. Always good to have you here. Sorry. And the Broke Man's Podcast, every platform you could think of.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
It's out there. So much good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's cool. Give it a listen. Give it a follow. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff on there. A lot of good stuff to come. We're talking
a lot of good stuff to come. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just starting off. It's just starting off. Really.
So let's go, man.
Jump on now. Let's get it, huh?
Yeah, let's get it.
Get after it.
Let's get after it, man. All right, brother. Bless.
Thanks. See ya.